Hey Bob, what's going on, buddy? Hope you're having a good Saturday. Hey Ryan, this wasn't planned, so we won't have many people on there. It'll be short. Hi Sarah, how's beautiful Utah right now? Just have to set the privacy settings on here. Give people a second. I'll just give them a minute or two to jump on. I think we're going to have a very small, more personal live here. Hey Nick, thanks buddy. Hope you're doing well. I was unfriended a lot in the past 2 days, by the way, so I have more room to accept friend requests now. It's snowing all over the internet, and the snowflakes are falling and melting. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. This was very interesting, and I really wanted to talk about. This wasn't planned, but it's something that I find very interesting, and most probably won't. Hey Justin, what's up, buddy? Yeah. Hey Oscar, how are you, my friend? You guys should be out doing nice things on a Saturday. I'm actually home with my boy, and we just got back from the gym, and I've been waiting for some results with this dog I've been working with, kind of on the down low, and I really wanted to share. I really wanted to share. It was very interesting, but like I said, some of you may not think so. You know, what's it? 2 minutes? We'll give it another minute or so. Why are you guys all home now? Hey Ken, what's up, buddy? Uh, Joel. Yeah, Joel, this one, I wouldn't it'd be okay if we did. Joel, someone just sent me, I was dying. Someone just sent me a private email, and it was a cover of a video. And I literally thought it was 70s porn at first. And it's one of your old dog training video videos. I don't know if it's a CD or what. I have to show it to you. It's great. You have hair. It's awesome. You know, pretty good stuff. Hey, Megan. Yeah, I bet you, man, Utah's so beautiful. Really good stuff. All right. So I wanted to talk about something here that, like I said, guys, you might not find this interesting, but to me, it's really important. And I love stuff like this, but I'm kind of a geek when it comes to this stuff. Um, when I was trying to build the business, right, I had to work around my job as a federal agent, and I went to people's homes. They didn't come to me, and my client base was based all around the Nashville area. So that's an hour away, minimum an hour away. The first trade show I did years ago was a gun show outside, like an hour east of Nashville, maybe not that far, but it's a good ride for me, right? And I built a huge clientele off of that trade show. It was a gun show. And because of that, and me going to people's homes, I used to drive, hour and a half to 2.5 hours each way to train dogs in people's homes. And that gets tough being away from the family on the road all those hours. But when you're young, you do what you have to do, and that's what I did. So I busted my butt for a really long time. I did all the free in home demo things. I had to try to sell people on my services, did all that. A lot of you guys know that story, right? Um, Easy to burn out. But the one thing that I miss most about that is if I had, to name my 100 50 favorite cases where I thought, like, what, this was great. Like, I wish I had this on video. Every single one of them would be in someone's home. Every one of them. Because, in my opinion, and from my experience, there is no substitution, nothing better than seeing the dog in its real environment, in its home, where it's comfortable with the family. Hands down, no comparison. To this day, when I get local clients in Bowling Green, I'll still go to their home if they're local because I love it. I love it. Even sometimes in Nashville, I'll do it. And to be honest, that's just because I want to go get a good lunch or a good dinner. And I'm not even joking. But there is no substitute for it. Like that is where the most magic happens. And a lot of times that doesn't involve any food, it doesn't involve any play, it doesn't involve any tools, it doesn't involve any basic obedience commands. It's just true, straight up behavior and the relationship inside the home between each individual in that home. For me, that is priceless. Priceless, and there is no better way to truly touch dogs that have issues and people, okay? Hands down, like all my favorite lessons have come from being in someone's home. And quite often, that has to do with me going in there. And a lot of times, I'll just go sit down on their couch without asking permission. And I'll tell them, I say, sorry, guys, like I'm not being forward or really rude, but I just want to be as normal as possible. And let's just talk. And, I don't get weird with the dog or nothing. But I just want to sit down and get the people to forget about the dog and just have a conversation. And that conversation is very rarely about the dog or dogs. It's about everything else, right? It used to be when people found out what my other career was, they always have a ton of questions and we'll talk about all kinds of stuff, right? And so that's good because it allows people to let loose, be comfortable, stop focusing on the dog, and just relax. And that's where you see the truth. Okay. Really important. So for you young trainers, I can't stress this enough. If you have the opportunity to go to someone's home and sit down and train dogs that way, it's going to make you a much better trainer, especially if you focus on the behavior and you stop focusing on the tools, right? We all know over the past 2 days where that's come from. So right now, I'm working with several families that have a very similar issue with aggression from a dog inside the home with one or more family members, where the dog is only bonded or trustworthy with one individual in the home. Okay. Several. Only one of them is a paying client. Only one of them is local. The rest I'm helping. I've either met at seminars or online. And so I help them as much as I can, but I'm not going to charge someone for my services like that because I can't give them the best work without being there and touching the dog and seeing things, right? So I just keep up through videos and as much as I can, and I help them that way. And they're all going very well, but I can't charge someone for that if I can't really give them my best. So out of all of those people, right, and there's several of them, only one of them is a paying client because they're the only local ones where I can go to the home and see things. So again, some of the things they have in common is the dog is only trustworthy and bonded with one individual in the family. Many of them have several bites on other family members. And unfortunately, they're all fairly big, powerful breeds, which sucks and makes things a little different, right? So anyone that's worked with me, even if it's just a seminar, you know how important that relationship is, not just between me and your dog, and not just between you and your dog, but also between me and you, right? Me and the owner, me and the person. I want that very, very strong relationship so we could be honest and we could really get down to the truth behind things because that's where magic happens. And that's why so many people cry at these damn seminars, including this dude right here, right? Happens every friggin' seminar, right? Every seminar, someone's in tears because we touch on some very deep and personal things because a lot of times those deep and personal things is what creates the problems. And if we can't touch on that and really get down to what we're dealing with, then we can't fix the problems with the dog. So it all matters. So another thing that a lot of these cases have in common, the dog is good with one spouse, not the other. There's been bites. One of the spouses wants the dog gone. They're done. And you can't blame them, right? You don't want to live with a dog like that. So with each one, everyone is doing very, very well. Very well. But the one that I could spend time with, I started noticing something. And after we got to know each other very well, I'll give you an example. The dog only would cooperate or be trustworthy with the dad, the husband. Hated the kids, hated the wife, has bitten the kids, has bitten the wife. The kids and wife are like, the dog's got to go. And the dad's like, no way, we have to get it fixed. Okay. So after doing some work and everything and getting the family on board, I had the wife and the kids doing a lot more stuff with the dog, and it was going very well. I made the dad kind of step away, and this is going on with just about all of them. So that's why this is important. And all the dogs were doing better, starting to change, right? But the second the other spouse that the dog was bonded to, or the kids, whatever, would come back into the picture, the dog would start going back to its old habits. So basically, the dogs in each case, and there's several of them, is only really doing well with one spouse at a time, no matter which one it is. The second the other one comes into play, there's issues. So the local people, to me, I got to spend a lot of time with and talk to and watch things. And I started kind of having some suspicions. I started having a feel, and I had to get very personal, like even more personal than I like to get, because I do get personal. I'll really, because you want to know as much as possible. And when you have a stranger in the home, or even if I'm not a stranger anymore because I'm there all the time, um, everyone puts on the fake house, right? Someone's coming over, everyone cleans the house, puts everything away, makes it smell good, and everyone's happy. Everybody puts on the fake house, right? Pretty common. Well, what I've learned over being in so many homes with so many people, until they really get to know me, they put on the fake smiles too behind the relationship. And so I had to ask a very personal question here without the kids around. I didn't want the kids there. And the kids are older, teenagers. But I said, I need to be real personal with you too. And if it's a problem and you're offended by the question, you want to tell me to go F myself, I totally get it. But I need to know. I need you to be honest with me. And they said, okay, sure. What is it? I said, are you guys having marital problems? And they kind of just stared at me, kind of funny, and kind of looked at each other. And hey, Nick, and the wife said, why are you asking us that? What does that have to do with this dog? I said, well, I think it can have a lot to do with it. I really do. And before she could say anything else, the husband said, yeah, we are. Like we're struggling. We're having a hard time, and we don't know if the marriage is going to last. I said, okay, all right. I said, I think that's a big part of the problem. And they said, why would that be a problem with the dog? Okay. And here's the thing. The dogs see everything. They respond to us. Everything we do, they know us better than we know ourselves. I promise you this, right? And so when the dog was against everyone in the family and only with the husband, the dog was good. When I separated the husband and the wife took over and the kids took over, the dog was doing okay without the husband being in the picture, because that stress was removed of the family dynamic. And as soon as the dog was doing better with the wife and kids, the husband comes back into the picture to do things as a family, and the dog starts going back to what it was doing before, right? So, and I told them I was going to talk about this without using names. I wouldn't even say the breed of their dog, right? I'm not going to betray their trust. So I asked them to do something for me. And I told them, this dog isn't really seeing you guys as a family. Yeah, you all live together, but there's so much tension and stress, between your pack. I don't think the dog is comfortable with the whole group together because you're not comfortable together. Like, I could feel the tension, and that's kind of why I led to this, you know. Um, I told him, I said, your house doesn't always have to be this clean, smell is good when I come over to, you don't have to put on the fake house. And I said, I think you're putting on the fake marriage too when I come in here. And the wife just starts crying, right? And I haven't even told my wife this. I don't say nothing. The wife just starts crying. And I'm like, here we go again. Like, this is tough though, guys, but this is important. This is so important for the sake of the dog and its place within the family. So I asked them to do this for me. And I said, this is going to be hard. This is going to be very, very hard. But I said, is there one of you that don't want to save this dog? And they both agreed, no, we want to be able to keep the dog. I said, okay. I said, are you guys going to get divorced? They said, that's not what we want. So we're going to work on this. I said, great, good. Well, we're going to have to work on everything. And this is what we're going to do. I said, give me 1 month, 1 full month. There's no training the dog. There's no playing with the dog. You take care of the dog and you give it what it needs. You give it food, you give it water, you take it out, you just go about your life. But there's no extra attention to the dog. But he's going to be with you guys at all time. But you guys are going to be together as much as you can also, like a normal family, if there is such thing as a normal family. I said, because I have a feeling when I'm not here, you guys aren't together a lot. And they said, we're not. It's okay. I said, I think this could be part of the problem. I said, because this dog's done so well, he's come so far, but where he backslides is kind of tipping me off on this. I said, 30 days, 1 month. You guys act like a family. You have to be happier around each other. Not all the time, just like as normal as possible. You smile, you show affection. You hug each other, you kiss each other. You hug your kids, you have a good time. You laugh. If you got to watch funny movies, if you got to play board games, I don't care what you do, but you got to be the fucking Brady Bunch for a month. I need you to be the Brady Bunch for a month. And they kind of just laughed. I said, just try it. I said, I can't guarantee that this is going to help, guys. I said, but I really feel so strong about this. I really do. And they said, okay. So they did it. They did it. And what had happened was the dog used to, like I said, only do good with one person. That was it. But by stepping away from the dog and spending so much work on the person the dog didn't like training and playing and doing all this stuff that I have people do, the dog started looking for attention from anybody, and I told him he's going to probably do that. And your job is just to be normal. Hey, come on, buddy, get going. Chill out. That's it. There's no affection. There's no playing with the dog. There's nothing extra. I said, it's going to be hard, but for 30 days. And what happened was the dog started pushing itself into the family when they were together and really trying to get someone to do something. And so they had to, and I'm sure they cheated a little because it's hard to deny a dog for that long, right? But the incredible thing is the dog really started changing with everybody, with every single person in the house, with every single person in the house. And on a side note, what they told me was the family was doing a lot better together. I guess it's like that thing where, if you're in a bad mood or you feel down, if you literally force yourself to smile, like it makes you happy. Like it's physically hard to stay down if you force yourself to smile, right? And I think by them forcing themselves to be together and spend time together, and you know what? Hats off to them for putting in the effort to save a dog. Like seriously. And Stephanie, quit nagging me about the garbage, Susan. You're upsetting the dog. Oh, Stephanie, I'm so going to use that. I'm so going to use that. And so anyone who knows me knows I'm bigger on the behavior and what you do inside that home more than anything, right? More than anything, by far. It's not even close. You could have a great dog if you never put any kind of tool on your dog, you never did any obedience, you never taught it a place command, and never had an e-collar. But if you focus on that living situation and give your dog what it needs physically and mentally that way, like our grandparents used to do and their parents used to do, right? Before there were place boards and e-collars and dog parks and all that good stuff, going back to living like that makes a huge difference. Makes a huge difference. And so, will it be long term 100% success? I don't know. I hope so. I hope so. But the changes that we have seen within that family and with that dog is light years ahead of where we were. Like really. And I'm talking several bites, like several bites on everyone in the home except the husband, you know? And so most people have no interest in this because it's not showing someone how to use an e-collar, right? Or how to use a tool or any kind of technique or method. But for me, that's not how dogs are wired, right? It's just not. That's not what's going to create the best dog you could possibly have. You know, they're still animals. They're living emotional beings and they don't think like humans, but our emotions affect them big time. That dynamic inside the home affects them big time. You understand what I'm saying? So, for any of you trainers out there that are seeing things like this, you have to dig deep, right? And that's why, even if I do board and train, for me, it's useless. It's temporary results. Even 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, it's temporary results if I can't spend enough time with that family, not just to pass on what we did, but to educate so they can keep not maintaining, but actually improving constantly. That's really important. And this all comes down to it. So I just wanted to share that because it was hard for me to ask them that. Um, but it's only because I'm here and they're local and I get to spend time with them. You know, I can't do that with someone I'm just helping through videos. And that's why I don't charge those people for that as a client because I can't give them what's best. You know, I can't do that. If it's like obedience and stuff and they're having little problems, sure, I could take you on as a client online, but it's still not the same, right? It's not the same. But that dynamic, your attitude, your emotions, your body language within the family, all of that affects the dog. Every little thing you're doing. So if the dog is going to accept everyone as one, then the family has to accept everyone as one, and they can't be divided. If you divide the family, the dog has to pick sides, and don't make the dog do that, okay? So that's all I got to say. Most may not have any interest in this, but I find it very important. And if it helps just one family out there keep a dog in their house and keep the people safe, then it's worth it. All right. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their Saturday. I am going to go sit in my recliner now and I'm going to watch TV and I'm going to just relax. All right. Peace, guys.